Number 1. Williamsburg by Yomtov Ehrlich. Before we dive into the contemporary scene, with the stars, the orchestras, the catchy chorus, and handsome men with swinging side curls and long jackets, we're going to go look back a bit.
Marcy Avenue, watch your step. Williamsburg.
This oldie isn't really a music video, but it's been circulating on YouTube as a video forever, so I think it counts. Yomtov Ehrlich lived from 1914 to 1990. He was born in Russia, grew up in Poland, survived the Holocaust, and came to Williamsburg, where his songs were something completely different from everything else in our library. Usually, our songs were verses of prayer turned to song. Yomtov Ehrlich's songs were Yiddish lyrics sung to the tunes of Russian songs. His lyrics were brilliant. He was an astute social commentator who could at once acerbically mock materialistic luxus, which is luxury, and then sing a lullaby to a child whose mother was taken away by the Nazis, and hush, my child, close your eyes. Do not worry that the sun goes down, because soon a new day will dawn. I remember as a child crying to Holocaust songs, Schlaf mein Kind and Der Briefträger. For my list, I share with you Yomtov Ehrlich's Williamsburg, a song about the resilience of these survivors who created a whole new world in Williamsburg in the United States. We now move on to two original Hasidic celebrities, Mordechai ben David and Avraham Fried, who are in their 70s and 60s respectively. They were from a more English-speaking Jewish community than the Yiddish-speaking world from which my later selections would come. Still, even as some families resisted the more modern music of Ben David and Fried, these men were the beginning of music centering the performer, and new music that animates weddings, celebrations, sing-alongs, and singing while doing housework. Number 2, Shira Lamelech by Mordechai ben David. Here, Mordechai ben David sings a classic song in Hebrew verse. This is very typical of Jewish songs. They're often Hebrew verses from prayers or from psalms. They are musical odes or pleas to God. This beautiful song is made up of just 2 verses from the prayers of the holiday Shavuos. Va'ata bonim Shira Lamelech b'sferes meforer, va'asher avudim hashmiim b'kol shivcho. And now, my sons, sing to the King with magnificent glory, and happy are his servants who raise their voices in his praise. Number 3, Shalom Aleichem by Avraham Fried. Again, we have prayer verse in song. Dididam, ein olam haba, Yom Shabbos menucha. Shabbos, the day of rest, resembles olam haba, which means the heavenly afterlife. Oh, our day of rest. These are again a series of verses, this time taken from the song sung on Shabbos during the festive Friday night dinner. These songs are Jewish musical canon, and they're not just music, they're also prayer recited in song. As an aside, you can see Avraham Fried is performing for a mixed crowd of men and women, which is why these early performers were considered on the periphery of Yiddish-speaking Hasidim, as not everyone considered them kosher or okay enough. Number 4, Abimelebt by Lipa Schmeltzer. Lipa Schmeltzer is one of the most important personalities in Hasidic music. Dubbed the Lady Gaga of Hasidic music, he grew up in the Hasidic village of New Square, and despite his very sheltered childhood, his music was completely innovative in contrast to the traditional songs that came before him. In this Lion King knockoff, an early music video still with meager production values, he sings not Hebrew verse, but quite a bit of English and Yiddish. Along with the lighthearted visuals, his music speaks to the everyday person about everyday things. Abim Lebt means, at least we're alive. And the song reminds people that whatever may come your way, well, at least you're alive. Schmeltzer was so trailblazing in his music that he was canceled by various rabbinic authorities. My parents forbade his music in the home. With time, Schmeltzer persevered and somewhat mellowed, plus the music scene got a lot more modern in no small part because of him, and today he's largely accepted as the beloved original Hasidic pop star. Number 5, Imla Yivne Bayis by Shira Choir. This video that was posted to YouTube 10 years ago showed the possibilities and reach of Hasidic music. The video has 27 million views. 27 million. Here we see a very low-key singing group. All it is, from the looks of it, is a group of men sitting at a table at what's called a simcha, some kind of celebration, singing a rendition of Hebrew verse with the chorus being Hinai layunim v'lo yishan shema Yisrael. Look, O God, he neither sleeps nor naps as he guards Israel. And of course, like every good song, there's an interlude of ay-diri-rai-diri-rai or bum-bidi-rum-bidi-rum or oy-oy-oy-oy, etc. And after some oy's and ay's, we return to the chorus, he does not sleep, he does not nap, he guards over Israel. Number 6, Umar Yochanon by Shulem Lemmer. Some of the men in the viral aforementioned video, the Shira Choir one, went on to become major celebrities. This is Shulem Lemmer. He's been signed by Universal Music Group and he sung the national anthem at the Met game. He has a beautiful voice and there's something very relatable, I think, about his persona. You feel like you could know him in real life. His singing is enormously soulful, the kind that brings to mind the Hasidic word heartzik, heartfelt. This song is also just a few lines on repeat. The first 2 lines are in Hebrew and the chorus is in Yiddish. For the world, for the entire world, you are a king you alone. And to me, but to me, you are a father, my father yourself.
For the Welt, for the ganze Welt, bist die Meilech, Meilech allein, in for me, oh, for me, bist die
Number 7, Nafshi by Shira Choir and Levi Falkowitz. Levi Falkowitz is another singer who was in the viral video. He was the lead, who had a dramatic rise. This video, titled Nafshi, which means my soul, is the one that most takes me back to something intangible about the wonderful side of my childhood, to the beautiful warmth of the Hasidic world that is full of soulful music sung while serving enormous amounts of food. The song in Hebrew verse is Nafshi choila ahavusechu unu kalnu defu nu la bahar islam noyam zivechu bahar islam noyam zivechu. My soul pines for your love, for your love. Please God, heal my soul by showing my soul the pleasantness, the sweetness of your radiance, by showing my soul how pleasant is your glow. You'll see the gesturing with the hands while singing, this beseeching, a kind of cathartic release of want and need and pain and whatever is ailing the heart and soul. The boy here is the high voice, since women do not perform in these videos. Many Hasidic performances include young boys who add a mention to the performances and often have solos. Truly, you have not sung your heart out until you've sung Oi 10 times in a row at the top of your lungs. Number 8, Haneshama Bekirbi by Motty Steinmetz. Motty Steinmetz is an Israeli Hasidic superstar. Steinmetz is a gorgeous voice that stirs deeply. Steinmetz has gone viral many times, including for singing himself to tears. I chose to share this video not only because it's wonderful and the chorus picks you up in its sails, and it's his most watched video, but it shows the life of a Hasidic superstar. We see Steinmetz at once a normal Hasidic Jew who goes through the daily routines of prayer, food prep, grocery runs, driving places, spending time in the family kitchen, Torah study, and he also works. As he goes from recording studios to various gigs, his life as a star almost looks like life for any Hasidic man who steps out of the insular world for work and then returns to its enclave at the end of the day. The Hebrew verses in this song are of the daily morning prayers, an ode to God and singing about the soul. Number 9, Yoimom Machne by Meilech Kohn. Something very different and also from Israel is Meilech Kohn. This lovely song is shot in the streets of Jerusalem among the shuks, the market, as we get a feel for the more hippie alternative crowd that makes up part of the music scene. Some of the music we've just seen is highly produced and very on the up and up with what's standard Hasidic composition. But there's also Meilech Kohn. Here, the Hebrew verses are Yoimom Yitzav Hashem Chazdoi B'laylo Shira Imi Tvila L'Kal Chayai. During the day, God commanded kindness, and at night, He sings with me a prayer to the God of my life. Number 10, Light 'Em Up by Beri Weber. This is far from Beri's most popular or catchy number, and I'll probably get flack for picking it over his mega hits like Yachad or Rabbi Shimon, but the music video is very fun, very New York, and reflects something core to the Hasidic community's love for stories of giving charity to those who are in the dumps. There's also something to watching a group of Hasidic men sing a take of Light 'Em Up in the New York City subway. Here's a fun little story. I used to really not be tuned into the Hasidic music scene. I only had a very peripheral knowledge of its music. I generally am interested in researching things that include women. But since I've had a YouTube channel, I've been watching Hasidic content on YouTube, so I've been a lot more tuned in. But before that, I was once giving a walking tour in Hasidic Williamsburg, and this guy goes by and he says hello. And something in my mind clicked, and a tingle in my brain told me, this is the superstar Beri Weber. And I said, are you the celebrity? And he said, yes, are you the tour guide? I was giving a tour to a group of Danish students that had never seen Hasidic Jews before, and let me tell you, they had a really hard time believing that this man in black garb walking the enclave of Williamsburg was a pop star with tens of millions of YouTube views. I bet they'd have a big kick out of this video as well. Number 11, Anders by Motty Ilowitz. Motty Ilowitz's songs are usually very Yiddish lyric-centric, rather than prayer verses on repeat. In his music videos, he centers writing his music. You can tell that Ilowitz's origins are not as a singer, but as a grammer. Grammar is a Hasidic tradition of rhyming, usually making up Yiddish spoken poetry on the fly to serenade someone. Weddings traditionally have grammars who serenade the bride and groom and all of the important guests. Grammars need to be able to hit many emotional notes, from making jokes to delight the bride and groom to heartbreaking lyrics as a warm-up for the bride and groom's emotions on their holiest day, their wedding day. This is where Ilowitz started his career as a grammer, and it shows. In this music video, Ilowitz sings a song titled Anders, which means different. It's a song about those who are different, yet who ultimately are not so different after all. We are not too different. Listen to me and see.
Es klappt in unser Herzele, wir gehen aus, mir soll es verstehen. Sie sehnen mir sie viel anders, ich mein als nein. Sie sehnen mir denn sie viel anders, ich weiß als nein.
Number 12, Sukkah'le by Ari Hill. Ari Hill's Sukkah'le is another example of how much of Hasidic music is sung between singer and God, especially with God as a father. Here, Hill is pleading for God to resurrect the temple. We see him and a crew of men building a Sukkah'le, a hut for the fall-time holiday, Sukkahs. As the hut comes up, we see the beautiful landscape of Jerusalem, and we come to understand that the construction of the sukkah is a metaphor of God's holy sukkah for the Jew, that is, for the temple. In Yiddish, he sings with the same pleading hand gestures that we see in many songs. So I ask, when will you build your holy Sukkah'le? Build, Father, your holy Sukkah'le already. At the end of the video, we see him in a change of clothing. He's now dressed in his dressy garb, and the Sukkah'le is standing in its charming glory. There is a palpable hope as the camera pans to the Wailing Wall, the remnant of the earlier temple. Number 13, the Dreidel Song by Shmuley Unger. Shmuley Unger is another big name. To illustrate how much celebrity culture is evolving here, he even hosts a podcast on YouTube called Shmuley Cast. The Dreidel song is part Yiddish, part English. It's a song about Hanukkah, the family, the children, spending time with them, a warmth in cold snow. If this feels a little Christmas to you, you wouldn't be alone. This cozy little song has all the feels of Christmas classic, less any romance. This music video really shows something that you might have already noticed about the entire Hasidic music scene, that it draws influences from the world around it. There are often misconceptions that Hasidim are lost in the past, unchanging. There's no better way to chart how powerfully it is evolving than by looking at its music videos. From Yomtov Ehrlich to today, to quote Ehrlich, it's a whole new world. Still, the process of cultural borrowing is very selective, and there are probably 100 things you can find in Western music videos that you can't find here. There's a kind of feedback relationship with Hasidic performers and their audiences, and the audiences are loudly critical when they experience foreign influences that feel inappropriate to the faith. But the custom of borrowing music dates back to forever. Hasidic music is often about adopting, sanitizing, modifying. I read an interview with Motty Ilowitz in Ami magazine where he mentioned several examples of words he used in his music that were criticized because they were English instead of Yiddish. It shows that while some of the things are changing, it's not simply a process of taking anything and everything from the culture at large. But the Christmas fantasy, its cozy family joys, almost the epitome of the American dream of tradition, stability, and materialistic abundance, that resonates. That fits with a contemporary Hasidic zeitgeist.
Schien ist fad, Heino, Leuwe, nerven, neuwen ins Verschand. Nissen größe Pink, wie dem muss noch Hand.
Number 14, Yidden in America by Lipa Schmeltzer, Dovie Meisels, and Hershey Weinberger. We're coming back around to Lipa Schmeltzer, the original Hasidic pop star, the Lady or Mr. Gaga. This is Schmeltzer today in a music video co-performed with some of the younger rising stars. It's a song of simply the lyrics, Tide Yidden in Amerika, Hit Shabbos Betach Getzan, which is Yiddish for Dear Jews in America, observe the Sabbath and things will be good for you. It's a quote from a famous old video by the Munkatcher Rebbe in 1933, who begged American Jews not to give up observance of Shabbos in America. At the time, most Jews who emigrated from Eastern Europe to America assimilated to various degrees. In New York, there was a law against working on Sundays, so most factories forced their poor immigrant laborers to work on Shabbos or be fired. This music video is an ode to the importance of keeping up observances during hard times. It is really a celebration of the narrative of Hasidic Jews as a people who sacrifice a great deal for the survival of their faith. It's interesting to see it next to the previous song, as both rejection of American culture and embrace of some of it coexist at once. Also notice in this song a much more subdued Lipa Schmeltzer. Schmeltzer's story is such an important and interesting one, and perhaps one day I can go deeper on it. Number 15, Shidduch by Sholi. Finally, we can't do a collection without a bit of dissident troublemaking. Sholi is a musical voice that is deeply immersed in the Hasidic world, but he also sort of left it, and so he's in that space where he has the liberty to create music that is outside of the acceptable bounds. His music can be bitingly satirical, self-critical, loving, and speaks to the unvarnished experience of human life in the Hasidic context. He has a great variety of songs, but I chose this song, Shidduch, which means a match, because, well, it's about romance. It brings into stark relief how faith and prayer-oriented all the other music is. This song is about forbidden love. It is definitely not sold in your local Hasidic music store. And by the way, it's remarkable that you can go to a Hasidic music store and find not a single love song. Not one. But here's one. Go explain to them, heart pounding like a hammer, every time I'm around you, I need you 1,000%. Yes, it's true, you are not my type. Your sweet mother, she thinks I'm crazy. She has a match lined up for you. Here, do. It's all in solid Hasidic Yiddish, that is, in the local dialect mix of Yiddish, English, and Hebrew, and it makes me long for a time that the forbidden fruit was oh so sweet. Shidduch is the ultimate clash of worlds, so Western, so very Hasidic. All in all, it's the work of an artistic soul, and it can find only a small audience.
Noch ein Name, bist nicht mein Type. Wer wird gemeint, sich vorgestellt in zwei, a perfect match.
Number 16, Jakob by Avraham Balti and Motty Miller Ensemble. I leave you with some lovely klezmer music. Klezmer is a Yiddish word that comes from the Hebrew word klezmer, which means tools of music. Klezmer is an instrumental music tradition of the Ashkenazi Jews of Central and Eastern Europe. When many people think of Jewish music, they think of klezmer, which is interesting because in the Jewish music world I am covering today, other forms dominate. Singing often supersedes instrumental music. Even singing the Hasidic nigun, which is often composed entirely of singing oyoyoys and da-da-da-da-da without actual words, supersedes klezmer's prominence. Still, klezmer's echo can be heard in so much of the music scene and the music scene in it. This is a klezmer cover of Jakob by Rabbi Yomtov Ehrlich. That's the Yomtov Ehrlich of our first song, the guitar-toting Russian Yiddish singer. Yaakov was written in 1946. It is a heartbreaking song that I grew up on. Even as this lovely melody plays in its klezmer tune, I can fill in many of the lyrics by heart. And so, we've come around to Rabbi Yomtov Ehrlich, because this is a world in which no matter the change, no matter the trends, the past is never very far away. These are my picks for today. There are so many other talents we didn't get to see. Please leave a comment with artists or videos you think I should have linked so others can read your suggestions. Please let me know what you think is the catchiest, what you think is the best, and so on. And now, as I bid you farewell, as I ask you to subscribe, I'll outro a song that I've been listening to lately by the famous cantor Shalom. In Hebrew, he sings the verse, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I won't fear evil." I want to thank everyone on Twitter for their suggestions. I want to thank Yossi Desser for your critique. I didn't take all or a lot of his advice, but his ideas really helped. Please check out Yossi Desser's work on his own YouTube channel. I want to thank my friend Chavi for her help. You've met Chavi when she was on my channel in an earlier video. Chavi is very musical. She plays the piano at women's events. She was very helpful here. And I want to thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.